Hi there, in this final screencast for the collision game, I'm just going to add the directions and let the user reset the game. So I'm going to go into my world, and once again, most of this code is going to be in my world because that's where we're adding and removing things from the world. So I'm going to make a variable that's going to be called, it's going to be a text variable, and I'm going to call it directions. So now, in the constructor, I'm going to say directions equals new text, and then I'll just put an empty string, and then I'll do color dot, I'll put the directions in yellow, and then I'll make them not quite as big as the score. Oh, no, I might as well make the directions, the string initially be what they want to see, what I want the user to see when the game starts up. So I'll just make something simple. I'll say avoid the chickens by flying up and down with the keyboard arrows or thumb stick or right thumbstick. And then I'm going to do \n, and then I'm going to say press S on the keyboard or start on the game controller to begin. Okay, and then I'm going to add that to the world, and I'm going to put that near the top because I don't think there are any chickens flying by yet. And as soon as they start the game, those directions are going to disappear. So I'm going to say add object, and I'm going to say directions, and I'm going to say color.yellow and 72. No, I'm sorry. I need, what am I saying? I'm saying directions, and I'm going to say get width divided by 2, so it'll be centered halfway across the screen. And then let's just try 100 pixels down from the top of the screen. So we'll say 100. Okay, let's see. What am I missing here? Oh, I forgot the semicolon. Okay, and then when the game starts, I'm just going to say remove object, and then it would be directions. Okay, because I no longer want the directions to be on the screen. Okay, so let's try running it. Okay, that font is way too big. Way too big. So let me make it, let's see where, let's make it half that size and see what it looks like. Okay, let's go back. All right, that looks good. Except that I misspelled thumbstick. So let me go back and fix that error. And then okay. So now I need to add a message when the game is over. So I'm going to say when the game is over, the very moment the game ends. Now, where does the game end? The game ends the moment there's a collision. Okay, so that means I'm going to go and find the point where there's a chicken, and that, I mean, collision. That's in the, not in the chicken class. It's in the goose class where it detects collisions. So I'm going to do open editor, and I'm going to go to where it's checking, detects a collision, and right there I'm going to modify the directions and add them to the world. So for now, I'll just press S on the keyboard or start on the game chrono to begin a new game. And then I'll put those in the same spot, and that was, where was that? It was, well, let me go look. Where did I add the directions? Right here. Except that, so it's going to be the same thing as that, except I need to say world.addObject, directions get width divided by 2. So now let me go and try running it. And let's see, I have some kind of error. Let's see. Oh, it needs to be world.directions. And then this needs to be world.getWidth. Okay, all right. So let's see what we got now. Okay, so I run the game. I let a chicken or two. Okay, so I just need to correct that. But that's pretty much how to add the directions. And then I'm going to pause for a minute before I do the code for how to restart the game. Okay, so I fixed that, and then the final thing I'm going to do is handle the situation where the game is in finish mode, and it's going to check for the key press or them pressing the start button to start the new game. So I'm going to pretty much copy this because it's going to be very similar. Right, I'm going to detect the S key. Now I have the gamepad grayed out right now, or commented out, because I don't have a game controller on me, and if I don't have it commented out, the game won't run. But of course, I would comment that back in once I have the game controller plugged in. So one thing I need to do is I need to set the score back to 0. So I'm going to say score equals 0. Okay, and then let me say game state equals running. And I think that's pretty much it. And that should do it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Remove object directions, set the score back to 0. You know what? Oh, I know, the bird, of course. That's a pretty big one. So he's still going to be on the ground, so I need to reposition him. And okay, so let's see where I placed him initially. So I'm going to go into the constructor of my world, and I'm going to say, let's see, where did I add him to the world? Add object goose 100. And you know what? Let me just make a new goose. Okay, well, no, I'll use the same one. I'll say, let's see, what did I call him? I called him lowercase goose. So here I'm going to say goose.set x equal, or set x, no. What is it? No, it's goose.location. I'm drawing a blank on this. Let me go to my world class and go to how you set Oh yeah, it is set location. Now I remember. Okay, so it's goose dot set location, and then it would be wherever I added him to the world originally, which was 100 get height divided by 2. So I go down and I do, all right, and now the other thing is I just need to make sure that he's flapping again. So if I go to the goose class and I look, I'm going to say goose animation state equals, well, I'm going to make sure that I set his rotation back to 0 and I set his animation state to be flapping wings. So I'm going to go back to my world class, and then I think this should do it. So I go into my world, and I'm going to say, let's see, set rotate goose dot set rotation 0 and goose dot goose animation state equals flapping wings. Okay, let me cross my fingers and we'll see if it works. Okay, so the chickens go by, the game ends, and there we go. Okay, so the only other thing I would add is a sound effect. And once I add a sound effect, if you can make it through the screencast, you'll have a game that has all the minimum features you need, probably to get somewhere in the A range for the project.